Welcome guys to the channel. This is where I'm going to be breaking down some pretty interesting plays that I saw during the 100 Thieves versus TSM Map 1 Split Grand Finals. It was pretty interesting. I'm going to go over kind of why 100 Thieves were able to get back into the game, one of the big rounds at Steel and the impact that Steel had in 3 very major rounds, and especially during overtime, a really cool retake setup that I saw from 100 Thieves. So let's get into it. So we're heading straight into the round. This is an eco for the 100 Thieves side. They've got pistols, stingers, and Dicey at least has his knife. So 100 Thieves in this one, they're going to be playing a little very cheeky, right? Trying to just play bait and switch just like we see on the B-bomb site. Dicey draws out some shots. Nitro doesn't get that kill. But it's a kill here that Dicey does extremely well. If he doesn't find that kill into Wardell, then this B site is instantly for the taking. Because he finds Wardell's, because he finds the kill onto Wardell, even if he goes down, the player approaching to this B bomb site, there's a massive gap here, a massive gap between these two, and a smoke down here as well makes this really difficult. So essentially, Cutler will be crossing blindsided because he doesn't know what guns they have. They could have a Rocket Wade, and they could have a Spectre, and those are very dangerous guns. So as Cutler is crossing, Hiko's already up in the heavens, and because Dicey generates this space between the entry fragger Sabrosa and the person coming with the bomb being Cutler, Sabrosa's got to look to take a fight to try and open it up and make safe passage for Cutler so they don't risk too much of this round. So we'll see how it plays out here. Dicey goes down, and this is big, like I mentioned. Hiko's up in the heavens. Hiko gets this kill, and it is a massive kill. So he'll double Ghost Sabrosa to the head. Both have showstoppers at this point in time, so there's always that chance of a comeback. And with Hiko with that kill, they no longer have control of the B site. Sabrosa was the only factor they had in that round, and with him going down, there isn't anything they can do. Now, just to break this play down a little bit further, TP from Hazed is going to go straight to the A site, obviously. And look at the read that Steel has. This is a big part because Hiko having control of this B bomb site allows Steel to, instead of rotating straight to the A site, he's going to be looking to cut off rotations because they know with Sabrosa sitting in the back, Sabrosa looking to clear out the site, they knew that was going to they were going to try and make a B play. But instead, because Hiko gets that kill into Sabrosa, they're going to be looking to play on the A site, and just watch and look how Steel plays it. It is absolutely perfect. Steel is playing this with rotations. He has no intentions of pushing, playing off of anything, because keep in mind, he still does have utility on this A site, so if he wants to, if he gets something off of this, like taking down Drone in particular, they can still initiate the retake, and that'll be pretty big. So Steel sits and waits. Hiko's at least got a gun, and keep in mind the showstopper is in play, and this is just a really sick move. Steel gets this frag, puts it now in a 2 versus 2, and when they want to go for this retake, Steel does have the lockdown if he wants to play, like DDK just mentioned, but he also has this nanostorm grenade, and this is going to be massive because Cutler, once Steel decides to pop that nanostorm grenade, if Cutler wants to take the fight into the player down towards screens, they'll know where Cutler is, pops a nanostorm, and they can take this 2v1 fight on the person in the middle of the site. So Steel having this nanostorm grenade set up for the retake is going to be crucial in winning this round, and you'll see why in just a second. So there's the nanostorm grenade. Cutler is going to take this fight. Cutler has no choice but to wait. Showstopper out as well, forcing them even further back. And there's that showstopper we mentioned. Huge play from Steel here to find Drone, pop the nanostorm, get a 2v1 into the middle of sight, and then close it out here as Hiko. So a perfect round, a really big thrifty round indeed as well for 100 Thieves. If they didn't win this, they probably would have lost this game because it sets them back on track economically and kind of throws TSM a little bit off balance. So this is the round following immediately after that crazy eco and that really good retake setup by Steel. This is round 19. They have the lockdown carried over from the last, and they have a full buy against TSM's full buy as well. Wardell's got an op, Dicey's got an op, and we'll see how heavily committed 100 Thieves are going to be to this heaven position. So you'll see already, Hiko will toss in a Boomba. Steel will play retake B. We know they've got a lockdown, so if they take that B site, they're going to end up playing retake. Asuna goes down very early, a smoke to deny any more information from 100 Thieves, and at this point, 100 Thieves, they're going to be playing retake B, right? Because we know Steel's got that lockdown. They're more than likely they're going to back away here, and it's how they play this, and a little bit of luck that helps 100 Thieves here, but it is crucial that they decide to back away and throw that lockdown, and the position that Steel throws that lockdown in is even bigger, and the position that he takes after throwing the lockdown wins them this round entirely. It's smart plays that give them this win. They hear the showstopper. They know they've got to get out. They know they've got to try and play this retake. And Sabrosa, it's such a tricky position because he can't clear this corner. He can't clear the corner that Steel is sitting in. Because if he clears that, he himself will take damage. There's an immediate trade after, but it's big that Steel plays the close corner instead. Hiko goes down. That's not a big deal. You still have control of this lockdown, and Steel finding this kill even better. So immediately after this, he'll drop the lockdown. Drone has some chance to push forward if he wants to, and that's what he does here. But Steel again uses that lockdown as bait. It's at 5 seconds. Drone has got to get it down. And in a 2 versus 2, this play is insane. Pros do not fake, and Steel has got balls of steel here. Wardell gets close. This is a big miss, like an absolutely massive miss from Wardell. I think if he gets that, they probably would have won this round. But Steel does a massive job with that lockdown, finding those 2 frags, and having the balls to stick that defuse. And that's how 100 Thieves get their 9th round. And there's another round right after this in round 20, where it's even bigger. So this is a round where Steel doesn't necessarily find frags per se, but he has a lot more impact in the way that he battles for control. Throughout this entire first map, there was a lot of battle between Steel and Sabrosa battling for B main control when 100 Thieves were on the attack, and now when they're on the defense, there's still that big contest towards the B main side. And we'll see how Steel ends up dealing with this. He knows that TSM have been contesting a little bit more heavily towards B, so let's take maybe a little bit more of a passive approach. We'll see on the mini-map here when he elects to instead put a turret down, which will make the first contact. He'll play off of that. Nobody in the open. Steel will go for that swing. He'll be looking to get more information. And look how Steel progressively pushes forward as he continues to look for that B main control. This entire round is won solely off of Steel's map control. You can see he's pressed up so far into B main. He'll have all this information. He'll be able to calm if it's a B hit. He'll be able to calm if it's going to be an A hit. They know it's an A hit because Steel is sitting perfectly perched with nothing going on. TSM at this point, they've got pretty good mid control, but it's a gamble that 100 Thieves elect to take. Steel's got B main control. They're probably not going to go B. They might need to go for a split. They give up mid, and it's this gamble that they make, this call that Steel produces for his team, that ultimately I think wins them this round entirely and sets them for the comeback, which was already in motion from the last 2 rounds. And this one just puts the icing on the cake, because after this, TSM have got no cash. There is nothing in their bank accounts. So I'll just let this one play out. You'll see Steel again heavily focused towards his B main position. He continues to push forward. That pushes the issue a lot more. So he's clearing everything out right now. Steel sees nothing, and this is a really good setup as well. Asuna is kind of in this one and done position. But with Dicey also holding A main, Asuna is going to be very light on his feet. Gets away, allows Nitro to swing in as well. So it's a good distraction as well from Asuna, and Nitro and Asuna play that exceptionally well in the A heavens as well. So nothing to take away from them, but that entire play, that entire round was generated off of Steel looking for early aggression, looking for B main control, and getting that B main control, and subsequently after allowing his team to figure out where the play is coming and get the setup for them on the A site. So this is also a really cool B site retake that I wanted to point out on the attacking side of 100 Thieves. It's just very intricate and very deliberate, the positions that they take. So this is just a normal B side execution. Sabrosa, like I said, it was the battle of Steel and Sabrosa on the split B main position. He gets caught on the open, and now the retake scenario is set up. Early on, I want to note the utility that Steel elects to throw down. He'll throw an alarm bot to trigger if anybody walks out defender spot. Nitro tosses a smoke so nobody can peek for info, and he subsequently drops a nanoswarm after to try and prevent anyone from pushing into this space over here in which the nanoswarm is protecting. So that's the goal right now with the utility that Steel has thrown down. But let's take a look at the positions that these 100 Thieves players end up taking. With the spike going down, Hiko drops to the back site. Nitro pushes into B main in order to clear out that there's nobody coming on their flank. Hiko takes up this position. Dicey plays around the middle pillar of the B bomb site, and same thing with Steel. So what's happening right now is they're creating multiple crossfires. Remember the utility that Steel threw down, the alarm bot in the nanostorm. If anybody was to walk through that smoke after it fades or walk through this alleyway, the nano or the alarm bot would go off. Steel would trigger the nanostorm so nobody could walk through. Hiko would look for the swing from his side, and Dicey as well would look for their swing. So it's a multi-swing angle, and they're covering it with utility to ensure that nobody from TSM will be able to walk through unnoticed. Now, another setup that they have on the opposite side, we'll see here in a second that Steel will elect to throw down a turret here after Wardell misses a shot, and Wardell goes down. That's a big shot from Steel, kind of elaborating further on how good he's been. So Steel continues to look for the peak. There's no turret in this round. I think it's the next attacking round they have, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that turret. That turret will play the contact. So once Drone takes that out, they'll be looking for a swing here. Steel unfortunately goes down there. But even in this situation where the utility is no longer needed, the setup that they've got, I want you to take quick note, is that with Dicey playing passive behind this pillar and Nitro playing deep into B main, or not deep into B main, but just enough so he can't be spotted, and Hiko playing all the way in the back, as Drone continues to push forward, what's going to happen is if Dicey makes contact, Steel will make contact and trade it out, and Hiko as well. So they kind of have this vacuum where no matter what happens, no matter who you end up swinging, there will be more players watching, looking to take you down, even if you get that frag. So that's the setup that 100 Thieves have, and I think is really intricate and really great to watch because it works out flawlessly in this round, which we'll see here in a second. Drone will push forward. Cutler will try and set him up with a flash, but this flash, like I mentioned, you flash everybody, but 3 people are watching you, and there is absolutely nothing you can do. And it's simple after that. Go for the swing on the Cutler, and that's why I think this is probably one of the best B-site retakes that you can have in 100 Thieves. They execute it perfectly, and we'll see that again in another round where they do the exact same setup. So here again in round 26, the second overtime and the second attacking overtime for 100 Thieves. It's the exact same B execution. I just decided to skip forward to the actual retake, and it's the same scenario with the same 4 players looking to hold this down. But something to note is you take a look at Steel's utility. Steel doesn't have the alarm bot or the nanostorm. He will have the turret here in a couple of seconds because he pulls that back from the lurk position, and he'll opt to use that instead. So this setup really does kind of pivot a lot on a killjoy, where you use that turret, you use that alarm bot to make the contact first, and you play off of that. So look how Steel elects to use this turret instead of dropping it where we saw last time in this position. He'll instead drop it where the nanostorm of the alarm bot will play. So we know that the nanostorm of the alarm bot would go there typically. So he drops this turret that'll allow open up space that'll cover this position so they know. And it's again almost the exact same setup. It's a good call from TSM to try and flush out players in this position using the breach utility, but it doesn't work out because again, you have this turret that's ready to make contact. All they've got to do is back away. This turret has already cleared out this position. So there's nothing that's going to go on here. And Steel gets his alarm bot back, which he called earlier, and he elects to toss it down in the same position alongside a nanostorm grenade. So with that turret clearing that position out, they get flushed out by the breach utility, but they move to a different position, which still is a very favorable area. That's the beauty, I'd say, of this entire retake situation, is that no matter what happens, no matter if they lose control over this pillar, they can fall away to this box with security that nobody is there because of the utility that Steel is thrown down. And the retake setup works almost exactly the same as the last. Flash goes in, Drone makes contact with a turret, everybody swings. Everybody swings at the same time from 100 Thieves and annihilates the TSM retake. So that's just something I wanted to break down for you guys. I thought it was real interesting how 100 Thieves played Split and how Split was such a big proponent of the 100 Thieves victory, because Hayes himself even said on Immortal Minds that when TSM lost Split, they knew it was going to go 2-0 automatically because the map after was a dominant one from 100 Thieves. And I think that 100 Thieves have got a lot of potential moving forward. I think they are definitely one of the best in North America. And with the 3 great minds, if they can continue to have setups like that B-site retake hold that I showed you from the heads of Nitro, Steel, and Hiko, it's going to be a phenomenal team backed by the guns of Austin and Dicey. But that's going to be it for me today. It was just a short video displaying the tactical prowess and the kind of the mindset for 100 Thieves. And hope you guys enjoyed. I will be streaming VOD reviews every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday after school, which is 4 p.m. for me. So around 5 o'clock is when we start the streams for VOD reviews. If you want to tune in, that is twitch.tv/SullyCast. Make sure you subscribe here on the YouTube channel. I'll be dropping more content, hopefully every Saturday if possible. If not, do my best over the weekends to get content out. But like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter @SullyCast, and I'll see you guys next time for another video.